Hey everyone, we really need to talk about Chad and Belle and this whole crazy chess set situation because next week is going to drop a massive twist on us. And honestly, I am still trying to wrap my head around it. For weeks now, we have been watching these two poke around that creepy old chessboard that Stefano DiMera left for John and Marlena in his will. We all knew it wasn't just a nice piece of wooden furniture. I mean, this is Stefano we are talking about. The man never did anything just to be nice. But what Chad and Belle are about to discover is going to completely change the entire game. And I mean that literally. They're getting so close to the truth, and it is honestly giving me goosebumps. But let's back up a second and look at how we got here. A few episodes ago, they found that hidden drawer in the chessboard, and we found out the pawn piece is missing, which is a huge glaring neon sign pointing right at John Black, since he was literally brought to Salem as the pawn back in 1986. Marlena has been having these terrifying premonitions about it, and you can totally see why. She knows Stefano. She knows that even from beyond the grave, he is obsessed with torturing her and John. And now that John is gone, Stefano is using this chess set to mess with her head. But Belle and Chad stepped in to investigate so Marlena wouldn't have to deal with the trauma. Which is sweet, but maybe also really stupid of them? I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh on them. But getting involved in a DiMera puzzle is never a good idea. Ever. And speaking of Chad and Belle, can we just talk about this pairing for a minute? The writers are clearly pushing them together. They shipped Thomas and Charlotte off to Boston to visit Jack and Jennifer just so Chad could have some free time to play detective with Belle. And date her. We saw them at that baseball game a while ago, and now they are going to concerts together in Horton Town Square. Fans on social media are super divided on it. Some people are saying they want Belle to have her own storyline that doesn't involve Chad, especially since Chad still has all that weird lingering tension with Cat Green. But then you have fans like 7Deb28 who are saying maybe Belle and Chad should open their own investigating agency and compete with Black Patch, which honestly would be kind of hilarious. Black Patch Jr. I can see it. So anyway, they are out on a date. They go to see a Verdi concert in the square. Verdi, because of course it's Verdi. Stefano loved opera and classical music. It is like his entire brand. And while they're there, this completely random, mysterious man walks right up to them. And he just drops a Verdi program right into Belle's lap. Just drops it and walks away. And nobody stops him. Because Salem security is basically a joke and anyone can just walk up to anyone. But that program is a clue. Another breadcrumb from the Phoenix. It leads them to find an old 1,000 Lira note. And on that note, or connected to it, they find a Celtic cross on the River Lyre. And this is where my brain starts to hurt a little bit. The Celtic cross? The Irish ties? Does anyone else remember way back when they were exploring the Irish ties with the Brady family and Stefano? What actually came of that? It feels like the writers are digging deep into the show's history to pull out these obscure references. But it works. It really works because it makes the puzzle feel huge. Like it spans decades. And Chad and Belle are just following these clues thinking they are solving a cold case. They think Stefano set this all up years ago perfectly, and they are just walking through a museum of his old crimes. But here is the massive twist. The thing that changes absolutely everything. Chad and Belle finally realize that this isn't a history lesson. The game is happening right now, in real time. The clues aren't just pointing to things Stefano did in the past. They are active, live events being orchestrated in the present day. Someone is out there right now watching them, dropping Verdi programs in their laps and moving the pieces on the board. Stefano's game is alive. When they figure this out, You can just imagine the look on their faces. The stakes just went through the roof. It is one thing to solve a puzzle left in a will by a dead guy. It is a completely different thing to realize you are actively being hunted and manipulated by someone carrying out his orders today. The danger is real. It is so real. And it means that every single clue they find from now on has to be looked at completely differently. They aren't just reading a map. They are walking through a minefield. And you know what this means for Chad. Chad is going to have to start thinking like his father, which is the absolute last thing he ever wants to do. Chad has spent his entire life trying to be the good DiMera, the one who doesn't manipulate and torture people. But to beat Stefano at his own game, Chad is going to have to tap into that dark DiMera DNA. He has to anticipate what a ruthless, evil mastermind would do next. And honestly, I am worried for him. Can he go to that dark place to solve the puzzle without losing himself? EJ is already fully embracing the monster side of the family. We don't need Chad doing it too. But he might not have a choice. And the fans are already going crazy, trying to figure out what the end game is here. The missing pawn piece is the biggest clue. Grandma64 asked on the message boards, is Belle the new pawn or is Chad? And Kitty replied that it has to be Chad being the pawn. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Stefano always wanted to control his children. What if this entire elaborate game is designed to brainwash Chad or force him into becoming the new pawn? Or what if it's Belle? Stefano loved messing with Marlena's kids. Turning Belle into a sleeper agent would be the ultimate revenge on Marlena for John taking her away from him. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. This is Days of Our Lives. People get microchips put in their brains on a Tuesday. Anything is possible. The fact that the game is happening in real time means there is a handler out there. Someone who is physically in Salem, watching Chad and Belle, reporting back, and executing Stefano's final wishes. Who is it? Could it be Dr. Rolf? He is back in town dealing with Lexi's failing resurrection serum, so he is definitely around. Or is it someone completely new? A secret protege Stefano trained before he died? I just love how this storyline is pulling in so many different elements. You have the romance budding between Chad and Belle, which is messy but kind of cute. You have the deep historical lore of John Black and the pawn. You have the creepy omnipresent threat of Stefano DiMera. And now you have this ticking clock element because the game is active. It is happening now. Chad and Belle are going to have to move fast before whoever is running this game decides it is time to say checkmate. Honestly, I am a bit tired of the DiMera family always being the center of the universe on this show, but when they do a mystery like this, they do it right. I just hope the writers actually give us a satisfying payoff and don't drag this out for another 6 months without any real answers. But for now, the realization that the game is live is a fantastic hook. I can't wait to see how Chad and Belle pivot their investigation now that they know they are being watched. They are going to have to get sneaky. They are going to have to get dangerous. And I am entirely here for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think the new pawn is? And do you think Chad and Belle are actually going to survive this without getting totally destroyed? Because knowing this show, nobody walks away from Stefano DiMera without some serious scars.